Hello everyone, I'm Steve Schneider, the National Marketing Spokesman for Brokers Alliance. You probably know me better as Steve Savant, the host of the Business Insurance Zone, our internet broadcast Monday through Friday. I wanted to talk to you today about Index Universal Life specific to our partner North American, or their AKA on the street, NACOLAH. They are really hitting it out of the park in so many areas, and if you want to watch our show that we actually featured the top indexed universal lives for supplemental income, you can go back out to our site at www.brokersalliance.com. When you come to our homepage, you'll see our media widget up in the upper right hand corner, and if you'll click on the V for Vimeo, it'll take you to our Vimeo account, and you can see our show that we did, our tribute to the NCAA Final Four, where we looked at the Final Four products in every division, and one of those divisions was Indexed Universal Life. Now what we're doing today is we're actually featuring NACOLAH because they're so huge in their total rate of return to the client, and they have some really good perks in the policy that we believe are anomalies in the industry. And one of the biggest issues why we're bringing it to the table is these people, NACOLAH, have really formed the best contract. It has the highest target premiums, it has unbelievable compensation, and the total rate of return and income leads the pack, whether it's in option B or option A. If you're using option B for long term, we feel that that will minimize and mitigate all the expenses by using the increasing death benefit option at the minimum purchase. This really is great for 10, 15, 20, and beyond when you're going to make contributions for a long time. However, if you're going to be doing shorter time periods of contribution, let's say 5 to 10 years old, 10 years old, well, probably 10, you need to do option A. And option A is the level. So when you're using a shorter contribution time, let's use option A. When we're using a longer contribution time, let's use the minimum option B death benefit. Now, of course, NACOLAH is rated A+ by AM Best, A+ by S&P. The product that we're featuring today in our discussion is Builder IUL. And it's great because it's a flexible premium universal life using S&P index, and there's some other indexes involved as well. And it's built on the 2000 CSO, which is our latest Commissioner Standard Operational Mortality Tables. One of the things that I like to do when I'm doing income, because 90% of income is generated on a non-qualified basis. So when I'm looking at how can I mitigate my costs, I always want to look to the female in the equation. If I have a married couple, I'm going to be looking at the gal because her cost of insurance is going to be exceedingly less than her male counterpart. And since it's non-qualified anyways, he can still own the policy, be the beneficiary of the policy, even if it's a Section 162. But what I'm really excited about is that the female rates drive it down so that we have such a tight, low expense load in this Index Universal Life that the actual total rate of return net of all interior expenses can pretty much beat any other fund that it's out there when you take the all-in price that registered investment advisors charge, plus the internal loads on all their fees on their mutual funds or whatever they're using as their basic investment vehicle. So when I'm looking at this today, I'm looking at all the possibilities of using North American for total income. We'll send you, all you have to do is request it on info@brokersalliance.com. I'll send you the top 4 Index Universal Lives, which we're featuring NACOLAH as our #1 producer. I'll send it to you in option A and option B. You can see the target benefits for yourself. It's a huge opportunity. Here's a few of the perks that NACOLAH does that no one else does do, and that is they sweep the account daily. So when your money is given to NACOLAH, they're actually activating it and investing it right away. In 24 hours, it's going and being daily swept into the account. A lot of the carriers that we play with, unfortunately, there could be 2 to 3 weeks, sometimes up to 4 to 6 weeks drag time. And of course, that's just too long with the way the market goes. So we like daily sweeps. And one of the things I like about it is that they reduce their expenses at the end of the 10th year. And right at that same time, you get a bonus of 75 basis points for being in the contract. It's a longevity bonus, and what I like about it is your expenses are going down at the end of the 10th year, and they're increasing their crediting rate 75 bips. Now, there's a lot of possibilities that you can invest in. They have the regular S&P 500, the S&P Mid-Cap 400, it has the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the NASDAQ 100, the Russell 2000, the Euro Stock 50, the S&P 500, Russell 2000, and Euro Stock 50 all in one platform. They have so many options that you can choose from, and we're looking at those on a 30-year look back. Right now, we're illustrating their 30-year look back at about 8.3%. But even if I drop all our carriers at 6% or 7% to kind of measure and give some kind of equality so that we can see who are the players and who are not. NACOLAH still knocks it out of the park. That's why we're encouraging today, if you're doing any kind of supplemental income, this is a huge possibility for sales explosion, which is why we wrote the ad, because we think that NACOLAH is the #1 right now, and I'm looking at those numbers, their actual total rate of return to the client, net of all taxes. Just a little thing on taxes before we leave. Number one, remember that because we're taking out loans, policy loans, and you may have a choice here between taking withdrawals to basis and policy loans to gain, or you could use their patented arbitrage loans where we're actually getting money to loan to we're loaning money out for our income, but we're actually making money on our own loan. That arbitrage loan is huge and it makes the total rate of return even higher. But you still can default to the traditional withdrawals to basis and policy loans to gain if you feel like you want to go to a more conservative platform. That platform is preferred loans, zero net cost, starting in the 6th year. So it's really a really good idea. But you'll never pay, if your client keeps a contract in force, the client will never pay any taxes. And if they keep it that way and they keep their contract in force for their life, they'll be able to take distributions tax-free. And remember, those distributions will never ever be on the same provisional income test for Social Security benefits. It'll never create an alternative minimum tax like some other preference items and sometimes municipal bonds. It has a lot of tax perks when you think about the all-in price. So when I'm looking at alternative retirement income, I'm looking at NACOLAH, which we're featuring now as our #1 indexed UL. Again, if you want to talk to Bob LaCroix direct, you can just call him at 1-800-290-7226. His extension is 132. That's Bob LaCroix. He's our index UL expert. And if you want any information on our top 5 illustrations, they're about 35, 40 pages a piece, because we fully disclose everything inside these illustrations, you can go ahead and write me at info@brokersalliance.com, and I'll send you all the reports from our NCAA video. Again, you can hop out to our site and watch our whole hour presentation right on our Vimeo account. As soon as you come to our account at www.brokersalliance.com, go ahead and click on the V icon. You'll see it on the upper right below the media widget, and you'll go out to Vimeo, and when you go out to Vimeo, look for the NCAA. It's one of our featured videos, and you'll be able to click on it and see that we talked about NACOLAH being one of our top 4 players, and today we're talking to them about being our #1. Thank you.